Welcome, my name is Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Vastu Creations. Today we're going to look at a chart for Elon Musk. The time of birth came out in a biography, and this Gemini rising seems to work very well. So using Vedic sidereal zodiac, if you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Gemini rising at 20 degrees. And first we're going to look and see how the planets are operating and when they're operating. So this chart gives a very strong sun. Sun is ruling the house of success, and it's placed in the first house, giving him name and fame. The third house has to do with entrepreneurial success through leadership and communications, transportation. Then let's look at the moon. Moon is also strong. It rules the second house. And it's placed in the house of success as well. So gives wealth through transportation, investments for the public, and the mother. Moon is also represents mother, who helped him with his U.S. citizenship. We have a weak placement, old exalted Mars. Any planet that's more than 25 degrees is said to be in old age and has trouble promoting its own significations. The moon is ruling a house of income, and it is placed in the 8th house, which has to do with windfalls. So there can be ups and downs to his wealth. I think he's been the wealthiest man on and off for some time. But gives the 8th house also has to do with research. So income through research. Also, he does have or had Asperger's. Mars gives him ability to take risks and can be vengeful at times. Einstein had this same Mars Rahu configuration in the 8th house. Then we have weak combust Mercury. Mercury is ruling the house of happiness through home life. It is placed in the 1st house. And because it's weak, he did have some divorces. He tends to treat his family like employees. So they rebel from time to time. And he has controversial speech or controversial tweets, and he's quite mercurial. He'll change his mind quickly. Then we have weak placement of infant state Jupiter. Any planet that's less than 5 degrees is said to be an infant state and can also cause affects the promotion of the significations of the planet. So it rules the house of partnerships, and it's placed in the house of enemies or divorce or conflict, and also possible health issues in the future. Now, it does give him an interest in researching to find cures for various illnesses, and makes him have a lot of influence in the world. He has Jupiter's the indicator for children. He has 11 kids. That's a lot. Then we have weak afflicted by Rahu, Venus. Venus is ruling the house of children, education, investments. He is very much involved in investments, and it's also the house of creativity. So investments in space travel. It represents wife. Children's and wife and children are treated like employees again, because Venus is weak, poorly placed in that 12th house. Makes him kind of aloof with his family. And then we have weak placement of Saturn. Saturn is also in that 12th house. It rules the house of good fortune through government. It gets a lot of government subsidies for the Tesla. And 12th house has to do with space travel, belief in, he has a belief in global warming, and he's talking about creating a colony on Mars in case there's a extinction of the race. So we have some place to go. Then we have challenging Rahu and Ketu close to the most effective point now. So this causes some challenges for many of his houses, particularly the 6th house, which has to do with the family and happiness in the family. And he did have 3 divorces, or 4 divorces, I guess. I'm not sure, 3 divorces. Anyway, let's look at the timing of events. Well, when he was 14, he invented a video game called Blastar. Got $500, I guess, for it. In 95, he moved to California to go to school in Stanford. He only lasted a couple of days, I guess. And in these 2, Blastar was during a sun period, brought some success and started him on a career. 95 is when he actually moved during a Mars period, Mars sitting in the house of change of residence. And then we have in 99, he and his brother started Zip2, which sold for 22 million that same year. And then he put that money into PayPal, and that sold to eBay and for $1.5 billion in 2000. And that year, he also got so bringing big success during a sun period. He did get malaria during that period, and if we look at the transit chart, there was affliction of Rahu to his 1st house and house of health at that time. Then we had, that was on an African safari. And then major event in his life, he lost his new, baby son to SIDS. And if you look at that, that was in 2002 as well, May of 2002. The chart on the left shows the transits in the outer circle and the natal planets in the inner circle. And you can see at that time, Venus rules the 5th house of children. And transit Rahu is afflicting natal Venus, causing unexpected events to children. And then in 2004, he invested in Tesla during a Venus period also. Got a divorce during a Saturn period in 2008. Got sued by the SEC during a Saturn period, Saturn K2 period. K2 was afflicting the sun. And then let's see here, causing unexpected events. And then 2021, Anonymous, which is I think it's a Twitter account that uncovers secrets, just really blasted him and caused a lot of people to question Musk's motives. 2022, he bought Twitter during a Mercury period, Mercury having to do with IT communications. So these are the events in his life. Definitely his strong sun and moon give a lot of success, a lot of wealth. And he does involved in a lot of charities to transform Rahu and Ketu, which could cause more challenges. And then having a Kavash, my favorite remedy, would really be strengthening his other weak planets. So if you're interested in getting a reading or learning Vedic astrology, you can go to vastucreations.com. Thank you so much for listening.